Okay, this is the second video of the two videos explaining about the W game. And if you haven't seen the first video, just to give a pretty short overview is I just introduced the game and just thought for a moment about my old friend Tatiana Hoppel, who was part of the group who developed this game and who died some years ago. And she was such a wonderful, kind and strong and committed person that we all still miss dearly. And then I explained a little bit of why you want to use the process of the work of Byron Katie that this game uses to allow yourself to look at the recurring patterns in your life that keep you from being satisfied with where you are, to keep you from being relaxed in challenging situations, relaxed in your life, and that keep you from feeling a freedom that, you know, that you can live your life not based on fulfilling expectations that other people or your society, your community is placing on you. So this video is about explaining what the game actually is, how it works. So when we're playing it in person, we actually have this pretty game board over here. And the stones on the game board are used to track the process of the game, and they used to play the second layer of the game, which is called the awareness game. So now we share this game, this process, with a number of people, and the awareness game is to keep being aware of our own thinking process while we are listening to other people share what's going on for them, what their process is like. And so every time we notice that our thinking is drifting off, we take a stone. So what does it mean our thinking is drifting off? Well, it could be something like, whoa, this has been going on for a long time, I'm getting hungry. Or it could be something like, oh, look, it started to rain. That's unfortunate. It could be something like getting into the business of the people that you're playing with, thinking, how can she not see this? Or I know what I would do in your place. It could also be noticing that there is an unkindness either to ourselves or to others. Like, oh, I wish I said that. I always forget these kind of things. Or how can he be so stupid? Just noticing within this awareness game, we just notice that these thoughts come through. We don't invite them in consciously, they just come. And so we see them. And to say that we have become aware, we take one of those little stones and put it into one of those little blue glasses. And with that action, we can let the thought go and bring our attention back to the present moment of the game, of sharing, witnessing the other player's process, of sharing our own process, of being in our own process. So that is the layer of the awareness game within the W game. And the game itself follows the work of Byron Katie. And you can see there are numbers on the game board. The work is basically made up of 4 questions and 3 or 4 turnarounds. And you can see the numbers in the back, they go from 1 to 8. And so we track our process through the questions, also with the stones while we play. So the 4 questions of the work are always the same 4 questions. And they are, is it true? Can I absolutely know that it's true? How do I react? What happens when I believe this thought? And who would I be without the thought? So these 4 questions are applied to a thought, a belief. So for example, you know, one of the most common beliefs we all subject ourselves to is they don't listen, right? So what is your situation, your moment where somebody isn't listening to you? Is it your husband or your wife or your partner? Is it your children? Is it colleagues, clients? Is it friends? Somebody isn't listening. So we go back into that situation and we write down on one of those worksheets. Here you can see the worksheet. We write down that thought. They don't listen. And then we apply within that situation that is very much our individual situation, each thought. Is it true? The answer would be yes or no. And most likely it seems like yes, they're not listening. And then can I absolutely know that this is true? The second question. And so that invites us to just hold on for a moment, just go a little deeper and go, can I absolutely know? Of course, my feelings, my thinking, my emotion all tell me that it's true. They're not listening. But can I absolutely know that this is what's going on? And then the third question, who would I be without this thought? This question invites us to contemplate, to explore. Who is this person that believes that their partner in conversation isn't listening? So what emotions are coming up? Is it anger, irritation, sadness, fear? How do these emotions feel in your body? As you're in the grip of these emotions, what images from past and future do you see where people haven't listened before? How do you treat that person? What is your body language? What is your facial expression? What is your tone of voice as you believe that thought? And what do you believe about yourself? And then the fourth question, who would I be without the thought? So this question allows us to take a step to the side and look at the situation from the viewpoint of the observer. Who would I be without the thought? So it allows us to look at ourselves and that other person without the thought or the judgment that they are not listening to us. And what do I see? How is my reality different without the thought? And people who've done this work for a while can see that most of the time without this stressful belief, it is A, more relaxing, more stressful, and B, we start to see different ways of relating in that situation. We see different ways of thinking about that other person. And then the next steps are the turnarounds. So the turnaround is a way of turning that thought, the original thought, they are not listening, to the opposite, and then to myself and to the other. So the opposite, they do listen, they are listening. And then we look at, how is it true that they are listening? And these examples could be simple. They are not talking, they're looking at us, they're not interrupting. They're actually responding from their understanding to what I'm saying. I'm not listening to them would be the turnaround to the other. And how is that true? Like, yeah, most of the time, this is what we find. As I'm believing that this person isn't listening, I get very much focused on bringing my point across, and I stopped long listening to them. And then turn around to myself. I'm not listening to myself. On what level am I not aware of myself in that moment? Am I noticing my emotions? Am I noticing my body language? Am I noticing what my needs are, that I am pushing this needing to be listened? And what is underlying that? So that is basically, in short, the process of the work. The W game does have a lot of deeper layers as well. It comes with a whole set of cards where you can question common beliefs that we share as all humanity, where you can question beliefs of your identity, beliefs of your family. So it will help you with that. So you can go deeply into the process. You can share the W game with your partner. It's a very powerful tool to have a W game with your partner that, to look at a situation where both of you have a different point of view. You can play it with yourself, just for yourself, with a facilitator. You could use it as a team building, and there are a variety of shortened games that come with it as well. When we're playing online, you will be getting the worksheets, the different worksheets, and the instructions on how to play the game. And of course, we wouldn't be we wouldn't be playing on the game board, and you will have to find your own little blue stones for your self-awareness game. And as we answer those questions, so basically it goes in rounds. So one person shares their statement, each person shares their statement, then each person shares their number 1 question, their number 2 question, their number 3 question. And so in that way, we share the process of all others, and we learn from each other. Because it's not just our own process, we see how all of us as humans have these thoughts and get locked in believing them. And this is what Byron Katie says. You either believe your thoughts or you question them. There is no other way. So if you are somebody who is looking for your truth, your own truth in life, and you're committed to living that truth, and if you are someone who's struggling to be relaxed and satisfied and happy, and you want to feel freedom, you want to be able to live your life free from other people's expectations and society's expectations, then I invite you to the game. And what you'll get out from it is that this is a practice in being honest and vulnerable and courageous, and share that in a safe environment. And it's a practice in turning your life around in ways that otherwise have just been not obvious to us. And it's a way of excelling at relationships, because we learn how to approach these relationships differently, and we learn how our boundaries, the walls that we bring into a conversation unwittingly, keep us from connecting and keep the people in front of us from connecting with us. So I invite you to come and sign up for a game. The sign up details are going to be under this video. There's link also to the webpage where you can sign up. Of course, if you have more questions, by all means, just reach out and talk to me about it. And if you want to book a private game, same way, you can go to that same website and you can book a private game, or you can book a strategy session with me, and just to talk about whether this is something that you and the person you want to do it with, the person or persons you want to do it with, if that is a good thing for you to do together. My name is Stephanie Skupin, and my company is The Leader's Work, and I help people who are done with suffering in their own lives and also want to have a positive influence on the world, to develop open-mindedness, focus, excellence in relationships. And I'm looking forward to playing with you.